Oscar-winning wife, who I've been secretly married to for 3 years, suddenly developed the ability to read minds. Meanwhile, I've been faithfully playing the villainous supporting role, trying to help her reunite with her first love. Outwardly, I acted firm and unwavering. I said, "You too can forget about rekindling the old flame in this lifetime." But inside, I was muttering, "I've tormented your precious first love almost to death. Hurry up and sign the divorce. Papers already, I need that billion in alimony so I can go buy my yacht." But she didn't play by the script. Instead, she exposed our secret marriage to the media. That night, I was all over the hot search. While filming on set, I even went the extra mile and pushed her first love, Willow's ex, into the water. It completely shattered her. She rushed him to the hospital. According to the plot, this should be the point where she divorces me, coldly slaps me with the billion-dollar settlement, and kicks me out of her life forever. I was already suppressing my laughter, thinking I'd almost made it. So when I walked into Willow's office, I struck a cocky, defiant pose, like I was begging for a beating. "Did Makoto catch a cold?" I asked with feigned arrogance. Willow looked up at me, clearly irritated. I felt a surge of delight inside. "Haha, are you mad yet? You gonna throw the divorce papers and that shiny black card in my face like in the script?" But she just answered coolly, "He just caught a cold. Some medicine will do." I blinked. That's it. No rage. No throwing things. So I kicked over her favorite vase, just to spice things up. "You think that little punk Makoto can steal my wife? Keep dreaming. You two will never get back together in this lifetime." But inwardly, I was shouting, "Come on, get mad already. Yell at me. Toss that dirty money at my face." Willow, however, didn't even flinch. She actually looked at me with interest and laughed. "Relax, dear husband. I haven't prepared any black cards, and I have no plans to divorce you." I froze. Wait, what? No divorce? Am I not being wicked enough? This isn't right. I've been actively causing chaos, just like in the novel. This should have triggered the breakup. As I stood there, confused, trying to figure out why the plot was going sideways, she walked up behind me and hugged me from behind. Her voice turned soft, almost loving. "Today is our 3rd wedding anniversary. I'll be home tonight for dinner. Make sure the place is clean. Tidy up." What? I'm just a cannon fodder villain in this story. Makoto's the male lead. 3 years ago, I sneezed my way into this melodramatic novel, becoming the vicious ex-husband of the female protagonist, Willow. My only job is to interfere with the romantic journey between her and Makoto. If I do my job right, I get 10 billion. From the divorce so far, I've been following the script faithfully. He chases, she runs, nobody wins. Until 6 months ago, when Willow got into a car accident. Since then, everything's been weird. She tore up all her old photos with Makoto. She became indifferent to him when he returned from abroad. I even wondered if I hadn't been evil enough to make Makoto seem tragic and win her heart back. So I doubled down. Each time a scene required me to mess with Makoto, I gave it everything I had, and still nothing. Willow remained stone cold one night, while hiding in the bathtub. Don't ask. I heard Willow's playful voice outside the bathroom door. "Honey, you've been hiding in there for an hour. If you don't come out, I'm coming in." Every hair on my body stood up. Wait a second. What happened to being pure and loyal to Makoto? What's with the candlelight dinner, black stockings, and nurse uniform? Sure, Willow's got the looks and the figure to match, but this is supposed to be a literary romance. No funny business. I'm counting to 3. 1. 2. Before she reached 3, I scrambled and opened the door. She pinned me against the wall, hand on my shoulder. I panicked. She smirked and whispered, "Don't ruin the atmosphere." Just as I was about to push her away, her phone rang. She ignored it and kept trying to unbutton me. But I saw the caller ID, Makoto, instantly. The evil supporting role in me snapped back to life. I pushed her away. "What's Makoto calling you for this late?" Thank God for the male lead, saving my virtue. On the phone, Makoto coughed weakly. "Liu, I'm so lonely in the hospital. Can you come keep me company?" Willow replied, "Scold. I'm not available tonight." Even I frowned. Makoto's been working his butt off to win her back. Shouldn't she be moved by now? "Liu," Makoto pleaded, "I know you hate me for going abroad, but in my heart, you're still the one I rely on." Willow looked at me. I turned away, pretending not to hear. Gotta give the leads their space, after all. But instead, she smiled and rejected him again. "My husband would get jealous if I went out this late. If you're lonely, I can send you some nurses." "I'm not jealous at all. Go, rekindle your romance. Just let me off the hook already." Then she stood on tiptoe and bit me on the neck. "Ow," I gasped. Loudly. Makoto, still on the phone, heard it. "Liu, are you with Jacob right now?" Willow pulled back and casually replied, "Of course. He's my husband, Mr. Makoto. It's rude to call a married woman in the middle of the night, don't you think? Liu, have you really forgotten me? Forgotten our past? You said you'd only love me in this lifetime." His voice was hoarse, full of emotion. Even I got a little misty, but Willow's voice was cold. "Let the past stay in the past." She hung up. I was stunned. 10,000 wild horses trampled through my mind. Are they really breaking up? This isn't how the story goes. You two are supposed to reconcile and boot me out together. Nervously, I asked, "You're really not going to the hospital?" Willow rubbed her head against my chest and pouted, "Of course not. You're my husband. Why would I go see another man? From now on, I'm only going to love and spoil you." I forced a smile. Okay, my ass. If you're adding new scenes, at least pay me extra." She pressed against me again, her eyes burning. I backed away, but she kept coming closer until I was trapped. "Husband, shall we continue? Continue." "What?" I stammered. My eyes accidentally wandered. Wasn't this woman always cold and aloof? I've been shirtless around her for 3 years, and she never made a move. What's gotten into her? Her face darkened suddenly. She grabbed my wrist, pulled my hand onto her waist, and growled, "Time to fulfill my duty as a wife. Can't have people saying I'm cold anymore." If I didn't know this was a novel, I'd think she really had psychic powers. But no, she's just a domineering CEO type. No golden fingers. I chuckled nervously, trying to change the topic. "Didn't the doctor say you need to rest more? Does your head still hurt?" Meanwhile, I thought, this must be brain damage from the accident. Once she recovers, everything will go back to normal. But no, she kept undoing her buttons. As soon as her skin touched mine, I yelled, "No." "A man shouldn't say no, you know, really, no," I cried. "My back's been hurting. I can't do strenuous activity." She blinked in confusion, and I fled back into the bathroom. That night, I lay in bed, wide awake, thinking, damn, what a pity if my back wasn't hurting. I could have at least gotten a little something out of this twisted situation. The next morning, Willow's dark eye bags startled me. She glared at me and warned, "No more overthinking while you sleep." What the hell? She didn't sleep either. At the set, I saw Makoto had arrived early. He looked sickly, coughing, weak. Even the director was moved. "Let's avoid close-ups today. Poor guy's still sick." But Makoto insisted, "I'm fine. I don't want to delay filming." Director gave him a thumbs up. Such a professional. Makoto glanced at me and whispered provocatively, "Mr. Jacob, don't go easy on me later." "Buddy, don't worry. I want this over more than you do." I cracked my knuckles, caught Willow's eye off camera, and channeled my evil villain energy. As soon as Makoto finished his line, I raised my hand, and bam, he collapsed. Did I even hit him? He dropped like a sack of potatoes. Still, I jumped in with extra flair. "Director, looks like I knocked him out." People rushed to check on Makoto. Willow, at the director's request, helped him up. But before they could leave for the hospital, Makoto woke up to protect my reputation. He quickly said, "It was my fault. I fell on my own." I stepped forward, martyr-like. "No, I did it on purpose." I even offered a dramatic line. "That slap was to remind you Willow is not someone you can fantasize about." Makoto bit his lip, looking pitiful. But let's be honest, without me, his acting falls flat. I gladly took the blame. I ask you, who's more professional than me? I'm the real Oscar contender here. But then Willow poured cold water on both of us. That slap looked fake. Jacob didn't even touch your face. Everyone froze. Even the director backed her up. "We'll need a retake." Makoto and I were both mortified. But what could we do? We had to reshoot the scene. This time, I slapped him for real. His face swelled immediately. He turned and glared at me. I muttered under my breath, "This is all Willow's fault." Everything was fine until she stirred the pot. "Sorry, Jacob, I didn't hear that clearly," she said with a sharp edge. I cleared my throat. "Ahem, I meant, to Willow, you're just so last night. She said she'd only love me from now on, so you'd better give up." Just as I planned, Makoto made his next move. During the next round of filming, he tried everything to stick close to Willow. He even bribed the director to add more romantic scenes between them, hoping she'd start reminiscing about their sweet first love. Meanwhile, I made the most of any free time I had, always finding an excuse to leave the set and give the main couple some alone time. One night, I was at a nightclub, drink in hand, a girl in my arms, when my agent suddenly called, sounding panicked. "Why are you trending again? You're getting roasted." I sobered up in an instant and pulled out my phone. Sure enough, the headline on the hot search read, "Jacob, the bootlicker, jealous outburst, slaps." Oscar-winning actress's first love twice on set. Someone had edited the video of me slapping Makoto and saying some rather unhinged things, turning it into viral clickbait. It already had over 30 million views and was still climbing. But honestly, I finally relaxed. "Good," I muttered. I was worried Willow might step in and protect Makoto's image. "You were worried slandering Makoto wouldn't hurt you." My agent fumed, practically swallowing her curses. Fine, I give up. Keep doing whatever the hell you want. You're going to destroy yourself at this rate." Buzzed from the alcohol, I laughed. "From your lips to God's ears. When I crash and burn after this, I'll give you a huge red envelope." "Thanks for nothing," she grumbled. Looking back on these 3 years of being stuck in this book, I really did work hard to play the ultimate bootlicker. Wherever Willow went to shoot, I followed. Whatever variety show she joined, I scurried after her like a loyal lapdog, playing the devoted shadow. All of it, just to build up to this moment of public ruin. After all, the book said it. The fate of the cannon fodder ex-husband is to be publicly hated, driven out of the entertainment industry, and finally, walk away with the $1 billion divorce settlement. Sure, the divorce wasn't going smoothly just yet, but this disgrace, this downfall, a sign that my ending was right on track. I opened the comments under the trending video and read through the insults, feeling like gold coins were raining down on my face. Excited, I hugged the girl beside me and said generously, "Stick with me, babe. Once I get that alimony, I'll give you 100 million. We partied until midnight, and eventually a waiter had to call me a cab. I wasn't expecting to see Willow waiting downstairs. She caught sight of me stumbling out of the taxi, grabbed my arm, and pulled me into a corner. Furious, she asked, "Don't tell me you went drinking because you were upset over being scolded online." I clutched her leg and pouted, half drunk. Of course I drank. I'm miserable, but not because people are yelling at Mitts, because you still haven't divorced me. I've got the yacht, luxury cars, everything ready. I'm just waiting for the divorce papers and that billion in my account. She grabbed my shoulders, grinding her teeth. "What did you just say? Say it again." I let out a long burp and passed out. When I woke up the next morning, Willow was gone. Didn't care where she went. I jumped out of bed, checked the trending topics and bingo. Ban bootlicker Fontrub, the paid commenters my agent hired to clean up my image, had joined in the hate. Perfect. No one could stop me from self-destructing now. I opened my socials and went to work, posting 3 explosive updates. Yes, I slapped Makoto. If he dares touch the woman I like, he'll pay. So what if Willow doesn't love me? I'm obsessed with her. If Makoto dares to chase Willow again, I won't go easy on him. Each sentence danced dangerously on the moral edge, and even my agent gave up trying to stop me. You're a lost cause, ruining everything. I messaged her back to reassure her. So what? A little scandal, a career down the drain. Big deal. I'll pay the contract termination fees. I'll send you a fat red envelope too for all your hard work. Hours later, she finally replied and shook my phone frantically. "Jacob, you lucky bastard. Go check Willow's profile now." I raced to her social media page. 5 minutes ago, she'd posted our wedding photos and wrote, "My husband's just a little too in love, please forgive his online outbursts. Also, Mr. Makoto, please show some self-respect. I'm a married woman." Boom. The internet exploded. No one could believe it. The famous actress Willow, who once cried in an interview, saying she'd never forget Makoto had married me, an unknown actor, and she stood up for me publicly. Wait, so Jacob's not the third party, Makoto is? Hold on, all that scolding was for nothing. Turns out Makoto's the shady one. Jacob wasn't ranting online like a psycho. He was making a declaration. I stared at the sudden shift in the comment section, completely stunned. There was no such plotline in the original book. Panicked, I called Willow. She didn't pick up, just sent a quick text. In a meeting. Without wasting a second, I grabbed my bag and ran to her office. She looked up from her desk when I arrived, raising an eyebrow. "Don't get too emotional. I'm just doing my duty as your wife." I stood there, breathless, glaring at her. Emotional, my ass. All I wanted was a divorce. Why didn't you ask me before posting our marriage publicly? She frowned slightly, but kept her tone soft. What's wrong, husband? Isn't this what you've always wanted? That shut me up. I had said that before, back when I was pretending to be her lovesick fan for the sake of my bootlicker image. She put her pen down, stood up, and walked over to me. Gently wiping the sweat from the tip of my nose, she said in a sweet tone, "Ever since we got married, it's always been you chasing me. 3 years now, even a stone would be moved. From now on, I'll keep you close, love you well, and make sure no one else gets a chance." All right, I forced a smile. Wow, my wife, untouched. But inside, I'm gonna die from this absurd storyline. Just then, the office door slammed open. Makoto stormed in, flanked by 2 security guards. We tried to stop him, but, seeing Willow's cold glare, Makoto pushed forward. "Why won't you see me?" I quickly led the security guards away and gently shut the door behind me, before cracking it open to eavesdrop. Willow's voice was icy. "Mr. Makoto, do you need something?" Damn, I thought, she's really ignoring the main male lead now. Makoto pounded his fist on the table, full of rage. "Why are you doing this? You've ruined my career with that public post. The Willow I knew would never hurt me." Willow cut him off coldly. "If I hadn't considered our past, I would have gone after you legally for hiring people to slander my husband." "I didn't," he protested. "We've known each other for 8 years, dated for 2. You should trust me. It must have been Jacob. He's always been jealous of me." "Willow, don't fall for his lies." I clenched the doorframe nervously. In the original plot, she would have blindly believed the male lead. But Willow had changed. I watched, stunned, as she tossed the $1 billion black card in front of Makoto, not me. "That's enough money to live overseas in peace. Just don't appear in our lives again." That line, that card, that was supposed to be for me. "Willow, you know more. Let's keep some dignity." Security dragged him out. I didn't have time to run, and Makoto spotted me. He glared at me with fire in his eyes, blaming me for stealing his woman. I glared right back. "He stole my money. You win, Jacob." He snapped the black card in half and stormed off. I knelt down, gathering the broken pieces of my precious black card, wanting to cry, but the tears wouldn't come. That card had kept me going for 3 years. My $1 billion dream, gone. Then Makoto punched me straight in the face. We brawled all the way from the top floor to the ground level. Punch after punch, no mercy. I dislocated my arm. He cracked a rib. We both ended up in the hospital. Willow came to check on me, and Makoto tried to sneak away. I stopped him. "Wait. I think it's time we teamed up." He looked confused. I sighed, gripping half the card. "If we don't do something, the story's off track. You want the girl. I want the money. Let's fix this ending together." He wasn't convinced, but he had no better ideas. I tossed away my apple core, patted his shoulder. "Relax, bro. If the plan works, Willow's all yours." "Why are you helping me?" he asked suspiciously. "I'm not. I'm helping myself." And so, we staged a kidnapping. Both of us were tied up on a cliff by the sea. Willow arrived, tossed the ransom card to the kidnapper, my sister, who I hired last minute. "Only one can be saved," she said. "Pick first love or bootlicker." Makoto delivered his lines like a pro. "Willow, save Jacob. You don't love me anymore. Let me die. My turn." I had no script. The kidnapper panicked and took over. "Miss Liu, who do you choose?" Willow stayed firm. "Both live, but I saw she'd choose Makoto if pushed. So, I slipped and fell off the cliff. As I hit the water, I heard her scream, "Jacob." I swam 5 kilometers back that night and collapsed on the beach, laughing. Done. I'm free. I bought a yacht, set sail, gave my sister her promised billion, and toasted to early retirement. She looked nervous. Willow won't chase us, right? No way. We're in the Pacific. Even she couldn't find us. Suddenly, boo. I flew off my chair. What was that? Did we hit a reef? My sister pointed. Miss Lou's here. Willow stood on a yacht nearby, arms crossed, staring at me like death itself. She dragged me back. For 2 days, she didn't say a word. The tension made me shrink into a corner, plotting how to survive. Maybe I could fake amnesia. Just as I opened my mouth, she said coldly, "Don't pretend you're not Jacob." I froze. How did you? After that car crash 6 months. Aguai started hearing your thoughts, and stop insulting me in your head. I didn't believe her. I thought, Willow's a dumbass. She slammed the table. I said, "Stop that." I was doomed. To block my thoughts, I started reciting "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" in my head on loop. After 39 times, she cracked, "Enough, Jacob." I blinked innocently, but the plot says I'm a side character. You're destined for Makoto. She gritted her teeth. I don't care if this is a book or not. I love you, but no buts. Even if the sky falls, someone taller will hold it up. What are you scared of? Makoto's standing behind you. Might not be the best time for this. She turned on, there he was. Pale, stunned, double quotes, "Willow, that staged death wasn't my idea. Jacob planned it." "I know," she said calmly. "You're mad." "I'm not mad, just done." Makoto was crushed. "Willow, why?" She sighed. "After my accident, I learned we're all fictional. I was created just to love you. I didn't mind, until I found out you were chasing other women, like you did with me." Makoto tried to explain, but she shook her head. "It's over. Please, leave." Makoto walked away. I tried sneaking off too, but Willow caught me, whispering, "Husband, don't even think about escaping me again." Makoto vanished from our lives. I kept fearing that since I'd failed my villain role, I'd be erased. But nothing happened. We had a child. Willow retired. We sailed the Pacific, living our dream life. Still, I wondered if one day I disappeared. Could she survive alone? Willow hugged me from behind and whispered, "Don't worry, love. If the world resets, I'll find you again. But what if I'm not me? Then I'll wait, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait until it's you."